Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kayla. So I thought I would film a video on technology that I use that has helped me create my channel. Now this isn't the most advanced channel ever because honey, that takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and unfortunately that's something that I'm still balancing. But I did want to create almost like a guide for people who want to create a YouTube channel but don't know where to start. There have been so many errors that I have done which have cost me a lot of money that I wish I would have known when I first started my channel. So if you're interested in knowing the technology that I use to start my channel or what I do to maintain my channel, then please keep on watching. So obviously the first thing that you need for your YouTube channel is a camera, any camera of sorts. I'm actually currently filming this video on my iPhone 11 Pro. You can use any type of phone. I have my 10 as well that I filmed videos on. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I wish I was a little bit smarter with the choices that I've taken when it came to purchasing cameras. If you're just starting out and you have like an iPhone, whether it's the iPhone 8, the 10, the 10 XR, XS, I don't know, there's so many, or the 11, and you want to start a YouTube, I highly suggest looking into using your phone for the beginning portion of your career. The reason why I say that is that these phones are so expensive and the cameras are really great quality that this itself can be used for multiple reasons. I use my phone not just for YouTube, but I use it to check email, to take phone calls, to check my social media, to watch videos, to set calendar invites, or make my own to-do list. I use my phone for a multitude of things. So for me, it's a lot easier to justify the extreme price in these phones compared to getting a new iPhone plus a expensive camera. Now, you can have both. I'm not saying that you have to choose, but if you're just starting off and you have a phone, definitely look into using your phone for filming first because it will save you a lot of money. And if you have like a MacBook or an iPad or any like other Apple device, you can transfer the footage from your phone to your iPad or MacBook through AirDrop, which makes it a lot easier. You don't have to spend so much money. You don't have to get SD cards, none of that. You could film right from your phone and AirDrop it to another Apple device if you do have that. Now, if you do want to get a camera to keep things separate, the first camera that I filmed the majority of my videos on, and by that I mean any video before December of 2018, all the videos I took on my channel, I used the Sony a5100. I love this camera. It is lightweight. It really helps in anything. It's good for videos. It's great for photos, especially Instagram photos. I found a multitude of uses for this. Right now it's relatively cheap. It's under $400. I believe like 300 and something, like low on the lower, not so high up on the 300s, but I think it's like low 300s, mid 300s. It's not that expensive compared to other cameras on the market. And as I said, you can take videos, you can take photos. If you're taking photos, you can actually use the Bluetooth on this to transfer the photos from this camera onto your phone without taking out the SD card and plugging into a computer. You do have to take out the SD card though if you want to transfer videos over, which can be a con, but honestly, that's with a lot of cameras. One con that I would say about this camera is that you can't take long videos with this. So if you're looking to do makeup tutorials where you're blending your eyeshadow for 25 minutes, at 25 minutes, this camera will get overheated and shut off. Now, it's not the battery, it's just the camera itself. You could change the batteries, but because it's so hot, it will just shut off, and it would take you much longer to film compared to using any other camera or let's say your iPhone. But I do love this camera. It has been with me through a lot. Another con is that this camera is really delicate. If you drop it, Lord have mercy, get some type of protection. Get some type of protection plan for this, whether it's Geek Squad, whether it's, you know, extra, I don't know what, but make sure you get extra protection on this because once you drop this camera, it's over for you. It is very fragile. The mic on this is good. Again, everything, there's so many great things about this camera, and it's a staple. If you watch anyone on YouTube or ask them about a camera, most of them will tell you that they've used this in the past, that they love it. So if you're looking for something that's user-friendly, affordable, and that you can use for Instagram, And YouTube, this is definitely a camera I would recommend. I will leave everything linked down below. These cameras are great, and I can't say enough good things about this camera. Now, I know I'm not the only one, but I always get sucked into the cameras that influencers are talking about, how they have this new camera and how their quality is this and such. And I'm like, oh my God, I need that camera. These cameras can run a lot of money. And when you're first starting off, you really do not need that. I'm a true believer in that. And the reason I say that is this is the upgraded camera that I got from my Sony, and this is the Canon 80D. Luckily, I didn't spend my own coin on this one because just the body, so without this lens, it cost almost $1,000 just for the body of this camera, which is ludicrous to me. But if you know anything about this, the Canon 80D is a staple. It is it's a phenomenal camera. I can't say enough good things about this, but this camera is not user friendly. If you do not know about cameras, I would not suggest picking this up because the features on this work better in manual, and you will have to self-teach yourself everything. If you love to self-teach yourself how to use cameras, or if you just like technology, I would recommend this. But if you just want something that's easy, if you're not good at technology, I would not recommend this camera. I also have this Sigma lens, which itself is like almost like $800. You can get this body camera with a kit, which will run you anywhere from $1,200 to like $1,300. I have another Canon. It's the Canon T6, which my sister actually uses for her channel. I'll leave her channel link down below so you can go check out her videos. And that camera came with the whole video kit. It came with 2 lenses, like a bag, SD card. And now I think it's maybe around like $300, $400 for that kit. I could be wrong. I will have that link down below with the price in case you want a Canon, but not something as, you know, expensive as this one, but do want a type of Canon camera that comes with lenses. I will leave that linked. I feel like when I use this camera, it has to be a whole production. I have to set up a table so that I can put my laptop on top of it. I have to connect my HDMI cord so that I can use my computer as a viewfinder, because the lens on this is very like finicky. I mean, it's a really great lens, but it can get out of focus extremely quickly, and nothing is more frustrating than filming like a 20-minute video and all of it's blurry. I never had that issue with my Sony a5100. With this one, I've had issues. So that's just one thing to take in mind. Again, this is a very like, you have to be very skilled in cameras to make sure that you're getting the best quality ever. I personally wouldn't recommend this as like a first purchase. I know a lot of people like this as a first purchase. I know you will probably see a lot of videos talking about this, but I don't think you need something really extensive to film a video. I think you can just, again, use your phone or use something a little bit more easier like the Sony a5100 to film your videos at first, just so you can get the hang of it. And then as you grow, you can afford cameras like this, because I know the temptation, you're like, I need to have the quality of all these, you know, beauty influencers or just like YouTubers in and of itself, but that takes time and money, and you don't need that in the beginning to make great content. And that's something that I'm still learning to this day. So I just wanted to put that out there. So hopefully this will help somebody, because this is not cheap. While the body of this camera was gifted to me, I did purchase this lens on my own. I actually found this lens on Mercari. I don't fully recommend purchasing stuff, electronics, on sites like that, like Mercari or Poshmark, because you never know what you can get. I literally got the luck of the draw. And I say not to purchase it, but I am the one purchasing electronics on these websites, which is crazy to me. But I saved myself $250 purchasing it on Mercari compared to if I would have purchased it on Amazon, which is crazy to me. So yeah, I'm actually shocked. But yeah, that's what I really have to say about this camera. I love it, but again, it's a whole production. It's extremely expensive, and it's really time consuming. If you have a place in your room or your apartment where you can keep your setup and no one's going to disturb it, then I think it's fine. But where I live, somebody's going to knock this, and if somebody knocks this and breaks this, it's over. It's a fight. So unless you have a place where you can keep your setup up permanently, I don't recommend a camera like this, because it's going to get really time consuming and really tiring to put this up and take it down, compared to one of my Sony where I just had to press the record button and that was it. I didn't have to focus on anything. I never had to connect it to anything, and it just worked. So again, I know that was a little bit of rambling, but I feel like cameras are very important for YouTube, and I get, you know, wanting to follow the hype of what all these YouTubers have, but sometimes it's really not worth it. So if I had to pick one out of the 4 that I've mentioned in this video, I would suggest starting off with your phone so that you're not adding an additional expense. But if that doesn't work, definitely the Sony a5100, because it is more affordable and it's more user-friendly. So from your video, you can choose to edit it or not to edit it. Now, I've seen some people who, when they first started, they never edited their videos. They left in everything that would make most creators kind of uncomfortable. So sometimes if you say a lot of ums or yes or so, when you're editing the video, you tend to cut those out so that the video flows a little bit better. And if you had any type of hesitation, you can take that out as well. Or if there's any background noise, you can cut that part out so that no one hears that. Obviously, you want to edit your videos. And what do you use? Depending on whoever you are, you can edit that on a Surface or any type of Microsoft program. I'm not particularly knowledgeable on that because I've never used like a Windows type of application to edit videos before. I'm assuming it can be done because you can purchase Final Cut Pro as well and Adobe Premiere Pro onto a Windows product. It's not like exclusive to Mac, so you can edit on those types of, I guess, technology. But I don't. I actually have a MacBook. She's quite old. I think I've had this for 4 years, which is quite old in Apple terms. I want to say even more than 4, maybe 5 years. So this is quite an old MacBook. And because of all the editing, she has slowed down significantly. She has been with me through a lot. And when I first started, I used iMovie. I feel like iMovie is really user-friendly. You can do a lot of the fun stuff on iMovie, but you can do basic editing, basic titles. That's really what you need in the beginning. And you get that from a MacBook. Again, you can use any program. I'm not suggesting buying a MacBook because these things can run you anywhere from like, I want to say like $899 to like above, like in the thousands. So when you're first starting off, you don't really need that expense. But if you do have one, you can use your MacBook to edit videos. That's personally what I use, or as I have done, I just upgraded from that because I didn't put out a lot of videos in 2019. One, because of a change of lifestyle with a new job, as well as my MacBook was so slow. I couldn't edit videos because it would close every program, whether I was using iMovie or whether I was using Premiere Pro. It would lag and it was just a mess, and I would get so frustrated that I would close the videos. So I have actually a lot of videos filmed but not edited, so I don't know if I'll ever put those out, but they're just kind of sitting on SD cards waiting to be edited. So this purchase actually was very hard for me to make just because it was very expensive. I couldn't like justify the price. I feel like it's such an exuberant amount, but I do know that I will use this for a multitude of things, like I use my iPhone for. And I actually picked up the new I picked up the new iPad Pro 12.9 inch. As you guys can see, I have my notes up for this video, kind of just like a little script, if you will. I also have the Apple Pen, which is actually really useful, although this was like a fluke because I was never into styluses, but this is very, very helpful. I purchased this. I find it easier to edit videos on. Obviously, the screen is big enough for me to edit photos for Instagram and such. And this is just very expensive. This is a 512 gigabyte, just Wi-Fi only, and it was $1,200 plus. Like, I cried. And obviously, I have the means to purchase this. I'm blessed to have a job that pays me significantly well outside of YouTube, where I can afford something like this. But she's expensive. Even though I can afford this, she's just very expensive. But I know that I'll get really good use out of it because this is almost in a way to replace my laptop. I do need to get like a keyboard and a protective case for this so that I can really use it to its main capacity, because I didn't just use my laptop for YouTube. I also used it for my job, my actual job, and just for, you know, answering emails, checking the web, purchasing things. I use my laptop for a multitude of things. I never really use my laptop to watch videos, if I'm being honest. I have, you know, a smart TV and my iPhone, my iPad. I had a mini iPad for the longest. Like, I think I've had this for 5 years as well. You know, she's, as you can see, the size difference. There's an astronomical size difference. But I feel like I get enough use out of this. So if you feel like you're going to get a good amount of use out of an iPad over an iMac, I would suggest the iPad because it's a little bit more portable. You can take it anywhere with you. You can edit anywhere. It's a lot lighter than a MacBook, but definitely weigh your pros and cons, watch your videos, do your research, and pick which one works best for you. That's all I could say about any type of editing tool or any type of editing technology that you need. Now, the one thing that I kind of regret is all the lighting that I have purchased. Right now, my camera is sitting on top of a ring light, but the ring light isn't on because I can't find my cord. I've gone through, this is my third ring light. The first one was, I think it's like the newer, but it was with a light bulb. Somebody in my house like knocked into it, it fell, it cracked open. Those bulbs are not cheap to replace if you can even find them. So I had to purchase another one. And then my big old butt decided to knock that down and break another bulb. So I got fed up and I got this newer, I think it's like an LED version, which I have knocked this one down several times and it has held up. There is something that I'm looking into that will be a little bit easier for videos and for lighting, but I'm still debating it because I also have purchased in the past, oh my God, I have shadow boxes? I think they're like shadow box lights, and one set of lights that even had like a background, like rod to put up like backgrounds, that is sitting in my closet. Those were like $100 a piece, and I have not used them in over a year and a half. I want to say almost 2 years. So they're just sitting there. I feel like that was a waste of money. If you need anything for lighting, definitely just get a ring light, if even that, and use the lighting from in front of a window, because lighting is not cheap and you may find yourself not using it. I felt like I needed all these lights because I saw all these people using it, and I'm like, for what I'm doing right now and for my space, that just wasn't feasible. And to take out all your lights and put them back on, it's just a hassle. So definitely do your research on lights, see what works best for you and your space, and then purchase accordingly. I will put all the lights that I have purchased down in the description bar in case you're interested in purchasing any of them, because I don't know anyone's situation. Maybe you do want soft boxes. That's what they're called, not shadow boxes, soft boxes. Wow, Kayla. Yeah, in case you want to pick those up. I never know. Everyone's situation is different. Other things that you may want to pick up are mics. This is a Rode mic. I only use this for my Canon 80D. I also picked this up in Mercari. I was a little skeptical about it, but it works. These usually run you anywhere from like $100. The only thing I need is that little poofy thing to take out all the wind. But yeah, I've never had a problem with this. I also have this lav, which is like a microphone that you like attach to yourself. I've used this from the iPhones. I mostly use this when I film on iPhones or whatever. I'm not using it right now. But I do have to connect like this little adapter from Apple because obviously it uses a regular, you know, headphone jack, and the newer iPhones don't have that. So I just plug this in with my little lightning cord and it works. So if you want mics, because this is relatively inexpensive, the quality is not so great, but it does work for, you know, what you need it for. Another thing that you need, if you're filming with an iPhone, I actually really do like this. It's like called the Ulanzi rig. I can't show you right now because I'm using it, but I will insert a picture to the side, somewhere on the side right here. I find it extremely helpful because it has two little brackets on top where you can put a mic as well as like a light in case you're walking and filming. It gives you access to hold it on the side. You can also film vertically. I use it all the time. I feel like it's a really great investment, and it's only $15. That's relatively cheap for a rig. There's one that I want from, oh my god, what is it called? And it's like over $100. It's from DJI, and that's kind of like a splurge thing that I want. But this is really affordable. You can put it on any tripod. It could be handheld, and I find it very, very useful. And you also need SD cards. I feel like the more memory, the better, because all my SD cards always run out of memory. If you're using your iPhone to film, obviously you don't have to worry about SD cards because you can just transfer everything over. You will need some types of memory banks. I don't have any memory banks right now. That's why I can't recommend any. I'm thinking about getting some in 2020. So I'll probably make an updated video once I upgrade my tech. This is really a video for beginners. If you're wanting to start your YouTube channel and don't know what technology you need to start it with, really what you need is a camera. It could be the camera from your phone. It could be a camera that you purchased. It could be a used camera. You need some lighting, which you can film in front of your window if it's nice and sunny. Or you can get yourself like any type of ring light of sorts that works for you. I would also recommend any type of editing software, whether it's a MacBook, a Surface, a Dell laptop, a desktop, a MacBook, whatever works for you. Definitely get something like that. Use whatever software is on there for now, just so you're not adding up expenses. And as you grow in your YouTube, then you can start adding all these exciting gizmos and gadgets and all that such. Because again, it is very expensive. And you want to enjoy what you're doing on YouTube without making yourself cry with all the expenses that you are racking up. If you want to see more videos on how to start a YouTube channel, leave that down below. I will try to answer them as much as possible. Or if you want to see another video on applications I use to edit photos or videos, especially for beginners, leave that also down below. I find that in almost my 3 years on YouTube, I find it very fun. Like, I can't believe that in April of 2020, it'll be 3 years. I can't believe I made that plunge. Really, to start a YouTube, you just gotta start it. And that's the advice everyone gives, but it's really the advice that everyone has because it's the most applicable to everyone. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this, as well as beauty, some lifestyle. You know, we're switching it up for 2020. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.